and we are wide open now in first. 260 kilowatts, and it's screaming up this hill. Wow, it's so basic in here, but again, that's kind of all you need. 330 kilowatt power output. Wow, it boogies pretty good. There's 40. But it's super cool just to run this thing, have no noise, amazing torque. Dang, it's so easy to drive, especially at low speed. Yeah, buddy.
Thank you to our sponsors for today's video: Eaton, Ionna, InfyPower, and Nokian Tyres. This video is brought to you by Eaton. Eaton is a one-stop shop for implementing reliable and innovative EV charging infrastructure at your site. Across all applications, Eaton's EV charging infrastructure, hardware and software gives you the scalability, flexibility, and intelligence you need to charge today and scale up tomorrow. Learn more at eaton.com/EVCI. This video is also brought to you by Ionna, North America's premier charging network. With unmatched commitment to elevating the customer experience, Ionna is opening America's roads to all EVs, giving drivers the coverage they need, the reliability they deserve, and the amenities they crave. And Nokian Tyres, a leader in safety and sustainability. The latest generations of Nokian Tyres products come with the electric fit emblem that certifies they're a seamless fit for electric vehicles. And most of those all-season and all-weather tires come from Nokian Tyres' award-winning factory in the United States. Learn more at nokiantires.com/EV.
Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. This is a Battle Motors electric truck, and I am going to drive it for the first time in this video. In fact, it's not the first time I've driven an electric semi. However, it will be the first time I've driven any semi-type vehicle with an actual trailer. Whenever I'm allowed to drive these things, you know, they're always on closed courses because I don't have a CDL, and they're typically bobtail, which is when you're not carrying any trailer. But this will be a really cool experience, not only to drive an electric Battle Motors truck. What's funny about these medium and heavy duty vehicles is in my old neighborhood in Colorado, our local garbage truck run by Republic Services was a Battle Motors chassis with an electric sort of garbage truck attachment on the back, which was really cool. So I'm very excited to have a chance to go for a drive in this, but it'll also be interesting to see what it's like to drive with a big trailer on the back. I love towing, but I've never driven a semi before. So this will be a great experience to see what it feels like to do it electric in a cab over style. I don't really think this is class 8. This is maybe class 6. You can correct me in the comments, but it's one of the classes. And it's a Battle Motors truck, and we're at Eaton's Proving Ground. Did I even mention that? Eaton is a sponsor of Out of Spec. They are awesome to work with, and they've invited me here and some of our team here to Michigan, where they have a collection of vehicles, you can pan over this way, that they've upgraded, modified. They have like a 1200 horsepower F-150 there to like stress test some components, like built by Texas Speed. It's amazing. They've got Rivian stuff. They have a ton of parts content in Rivians and others. And also they're into the medium and heavy duty electric truck space. So it's not just the Battle Motors truck, there's a bunch of other electric truck applications. And this is where they do all the durability testing. So there's a big oval over there and a skid pad and off-road courses. And Eaton actually bought this truck just to run through everything. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit, take you on a little tour. We're gonna meet with an engineer here at Eaton, Monroe, who knows a little bit about the Battle truck. And then we're gonna drive it. So it should be super fun. So here it is, the Battle Motors electric truck. Now, I am seeing this kind of all for the first time. So Monroe will tell me a little bit more about it. Not Monroe like Sandy Monroe, just the guy's name is actually Monroe. It's really awesome. And so you've got batteries back here, and then you've got two separate, I assume, battery packs this way. This is the 240 kilowatt hour version. Perfect for electric garbage trucks, city use, things like that. But you can also get a version with around 400 kilowatt hours of battery pack. I'm not sure if they're NMC or LFP packs. I would hope they're LFP, but in the medium and heavy duty space, the volumes are typically pretty low, which means cell sourcing can be a huge problem for this type of vehicle application because the volumes just aren't up there to get a great deal on battery packs. So sometimes you'll see like weird battery cells used, different configurations. And that's something maybe if Battle Motors is watching this, invite us over. I'd love to hang out with you guys and go on a tour of your production facility and engineering stuff, because again, we're just at Eaton's proving grounds. And so Eaton actually makes the 4-speed transmission for this truck. Eaton, of course, makes electrical components. That's why they work with us. They're awesome. They have a bunch of chargers, EV switching boxes, contactors, fuses, bus bars, etc. But then they also are known for making differentials, superchargers, and transmissions for trucks. And so you can get like an 18-speed Eaton, transmission in a, Peterbilt with a Cat engine. Cat doesn't make over-the-road diesel engines anymore, but you get the idea. They've basically taken what they've done for their large-scale diesel combustion electric trucking and have downsized that transmission to a 4-speed application for an electric motor. Electric motors have a much wider range of operation than a diesel combustion engine, which needs to stay in a very narrow RPM band for optimum efficiency and torque. But with an electric motor, it can operate, again, over a much wider speed range. That's why 4-speed down from 18, for example. The trailer is a Trailstar, 50-something feet, typical trailer, I would imagine. Let's take a look at what this has. I think we're around 50,000 pounds on here. It's, let's see, fleet unit record is just an inspection label. The Eaton Proving Grounds company name. Okay, don't know, but it's Penske truck. So they must have leased this trailer from Penske. Regardless, typical size, 56, is it 54-foot trailer that you'd put on a semi. Got your typical 5th wheel hookup, and we are ready to learn about it. So let's get Monroe on camera. He's going to tell us more about the battle truck, and then I'm going to be able to actually drive this around the Eaton Proving Grounds and just see what it's like to experience. These are becoming so much more popular. I've seen them, again, my local garbage truck was one of these. It's very cool to see. And then I think, this is what I wanted to show you guys, charging wise. Most medium and heavy duty vehicles do not have onboard chargers. What I mean by that is they typically have such big batteries, you have to DC charge them. I'm not sure if that's the case for this particular application. You still need the top communication pins to communicate for the DC lines, but this uses a CCS type connection, and you plug it in right up front. This is a super convenient application for charging because you can just nose them all in, at a bank of chargers, at a fleet application, and charge them up right off the front. You're right here up front so you can see the view. We've seen other semi-trucks go with MCS connections or CCS connections behind the cab, typical to where like a fueling location would be over here. And I think similar to what we've seen in passenger car space is no one's going to agree on where to put the charge ports. There's not going to be standardization. And we have another video that's already live or coming soon, I'm not sure, but Eaton will offer a high voltage junction box for DC charging applications. What I mean by that is Eaton is working on a supplyable, modular charging box that can sit anywhere in an electric truck to support multiple ports on a vehicle. So you can have an MCS connection right here up to 1500 amps. You can then put a low power CCS connection up front and another CCS connection on the other side, so that no matter where the charger is placed, you can have high power and medium power charging for a heavy duty application. So we came here to see some of those products, and I was like, I just want to drive the truck. They said, that's cool. So we're going to go do that. Let's meet with Monroe, and he'll tell us a little bit about it. And it's pretty basic in here, I have to say. Like, it looks just like a typical, metal cab, but yeah, seems pretty cool. There is one thing that caught my attention up over here, which is this notice, and I love this. For long-term storage greater than 1 week, high voltage battery state of charge should be maintained at 40 to 80%. We all know batteries hate to be left dead or full. I think closer to 40% is probably better. Turn cab battery switch to off. Turn high voltage switch to off. Turn cabin battery switches to on and cycle the ignition switch once a week. Let the truck run for 15 minutes. If the high voltage battery state of charge is below 40%, charge to 80% using a type 2 or type 3 charger. I think that is interesting language. So maybe it does support, they probably mean level 2 charger. because this is a Type 1 CCS port. It doesn't have Type 2 Euro CCS. So they probably mean level 2 or level 3 EVSE. So that means maybe it does have an AC charger on board. Could be interesting. Regardless, it's a pretty basic cab just to be electrified. Battle Motors, don't know much about the company, but I definitely want to learn more about this space. Let's meet with Monroe and see what he can tell us about it. Guys, you join me with my new friend Monroe. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So I know you're not with Battle Motors, of course. You're with Eaton. What is your responsibility at Eaton, actually?
My responsibility at Eaton is I'm the Vehicle System Integration Engineer, which is the person who integrates our Eaton products into the customer vehicle.
Oh, very cool.
So I work with Battle, and I integrated our Eaton XEV heavy-duty transmission into this BEV vehicle for them.
So talk to me about that. My understanding is, Eaton is famous for making, large scale Class 8 over the road transmissions.
Yes.
So like an 18 speed.
Correct.
Why only 4 speeds?
Well, with this one, we have plenty of power on the e-motor, and this one has a 4-speed transmission with a high gear ratio, 5.88 for first gear.
Oh, wow.
3.3 for second gear, 1.82 for the third gear, and direct drive 1-to-1 for fourth gear.
So when you throw it on the dyno, throw it in fourth.
yeah.
And it's got a Cascadia motor.
This has a Cascadia IM425 motor, which produces 2,700 Newton meters of torque.
Wow.
Plenty of torque to get you up the grades that you need.
Yep.
And
it's just a single motor. Mounted pre-transmission.
Correct. It's mounted pre-transmission right here. It's actually in line, just like a regular conventional transmission. The e-motor, the transmission, a drive shaft, and a rear axle. It has a 5.57 rear axle ratio, and it meets the customer's needs quite well, right?
Yeah. So we've seen this medium and heavy duty electric space kind of go in 2 directions in terms of motor layout. The first would be a situation like you have here, where you have more like a diesel or an engine going into a transmission and then to an axle situation. With electric vehicles, we've seen motors mounted on the axle itself. And we've seen in the sort of, let's say 1,500, 2,500 truck space, that sort of light duty vehicle, e-beams, where you can have an electric motor mounted on an e-axle. Yep. Right. What are you seeing in this space in terms of motor, powertrain, transmission layout?
Well, this is the conventional way. There's advantages and disadvantages to both, right? So conventional, this is a nice way to just transition right over from a conventional platform to an EV platform, right? So a lot of the customers who are with a new platform, a new base platform, might work with an e-axle or something like that. Yeah. But they both have their advantages and disadvantages.
And Battle Motors, of course, is using your Eaton transmission. Correct. Are there any other OEs that are public about what we can say your transmission's going into?
Yeah, I think we can announce that Toyota also has a production vehicle in the platform. It's a Class 8 that uses the same transmission.
We've actually had that truck on this channel before.
Okay.
And so that's the hydrogen one, right?
Correct. That is the hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. That has the same transmission that you're going to be driving in today.
And same gear ratios and everything?
Same gear ratios and everything.
Interesting. Exactly. So you guys have mapped it perfectly for that.
Correct.
So that's really cool. I can't wait to play around with that. How should we drive this? What do we need to know?
Just normal. Normal driving. Just normal driving, and you will barely feel the shifts from up through 1 through 4.
Yeah, so how does that work? Does it have a torque converter at all?
It does not have a torque converter. So the way we do shifts is through torque management, right? So what we do is we request the e-motor to release all the torque on the drive line. So when we release all the torque on the drive line, then we request a speed match. So we match speed matching for the gears to do the shift. And it's smoothless and transitional, right? You can barely smooth. Then we apply the torque back to the drive line again.
What's the time for each shift?
very, very quick. Yeah. Half of a second to a second for a shift.
That's quicker than, like, a lot of times I'll be next to a truck at a stoplight and I'll hear their automated manual transmission rev up, and then you could like wait a year and then second gear comes.
No, these shifts are really quick.
These are pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the controller for the transmission, like I'm familiar with some of that. How does that all look over in here?
Well, there's no controls in here. Everything's just a standard drive.
Oh, reverse, I see. You have
neutral.
forward.
We just have a regular driver interface, There's no park paw in this. You know, obviously it has air brakes, so the driver sets the air brakes, but it's got drive, neutral, and reverse.
Yeah.
Manual modes, up and down, if you wanted to go into manual mode.
Yeah. Would there be a benefit for doing manual mode with an electric motor?
You can if you wanted to hold like first gear for a little longer.
Okay.
Or, you know, stuff like that. You know, if you're this platform, Battle Motors, this is their truck. They have different configurations, right? They have a refuse truck.
Right.
They have a street sweeper configuration.
Oh, okay.
They have airplane refueler configuration. So different configurations, right? So you might want to be, you know, driving in first gear for longer. So you might want to hold first gear.
Okay.
So you put it manual and hold first a little longer.
Sounds good. Bounce it off the rev limiter. I mean, not that it would sound like anything.
Off the rev limiter.
Yeah. How fast will the electric motor spin in this?
So this one, we limit it to 5,000 RPMs,
Okay.
our transmission. This Cascadia motor has a 4,000 RPM limit.
Okay, very interesting. And so it's got traditional air brakes throughout. These would be the battery packs then?
Yes, the battery packs here, and battery packs in
okay.
here. Yep, in here too. And the management system, the fans and stuff, these are extra batteries as well.
Okay, understood. And then you just have a typical, you know, airline hookup?
Yep, this is our transmission on the top.
Oh, cool, we can see it right
You can
through.
see right there the transmission.
So that's the Cascadia motor?
Correct.
And then you guys made the mounting plate?
Correct. This is an SAE number 2 standard mounting plate.
Okay.
And this is the shifter, the XY shifter. It's electronic. That shifts all 4 gears.
And is that similar to what you would see in your, you know, Class 8 semi
Now
transmissions?
they use air shifters. So they use an air shifter. We're using 12-volt DC shifters.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then you've just got a traditional, you know, drive shaft that comes out
Traditional drive shaft
to
or
a single powered axle.
Traditional axle.
And is this considered a Class 6 vehicle?
No, this is a Class 8.
This is a full Class 8.
Yeah, I think this is Class 8. Yes, correct.
And I guess how could it go higher from this? Could you go through a multiple, you know, dual drive with dual lockers?
They do make this with a dual drive. I mean, it has another. This is a little bobtail configuration that we were leasing from them, but they do have a different configuration at Battle.
Very cool. And how big's the trailer on this one? Do we know? It's got to be 50.
I think 53 feet on this one. And today you're going to be driving. This is 52,800 pounds. I was informed.
Including trailer weight.
Including everything. Yeah,
Okay.
the full weight's about 53,000 pounds.
Okay. That's probably one of the heaviest things I've driven.
And it drives nice and smooth.
Okay, amazing. I can't wait to play around with it. I have one last question for you is electric motors can, of course, regen.
They do.
And
They
so
do
how does that work from a consideration standpoint of putting the load on the gears backwards on the transmission?
We use it quite well. So we use the regen for shifting.
Okay.
Right. So when we shift, we have to put the power back into the batteries to absorb for doing the speed control.
Yeah, so if you're going first to second rather than just letting the motor spin down naturally, you'll hit a little regen in there.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And we put the power back into the batteries.
And even going down long grades, you can run recuperation
We
through
do.
there. Yeah.
And this truck has several different levels of regen that is
cool.
selectable by the driver on the little pad.
And I guess in a diesel application with the transmission, you would have engine braking. So I guess the transmission is designed to handle some of that, you know, sort of reverse load into it already. But this transmission is specific for electric applications.
It is. It's specific for electric applications only.
Okay.
Correct.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to drive this thing. We're going to definitely see if it doesn't burn out. So.
Oh, it will. It might not with the trailer on, but it was yesterday. We were doing burnouts in it yesterday.
That's amazing.
It will definitely do a burnout.
And now we know why Eaton is our favorite sponsor. No, we love all of our sponsors equally, excuse me. Anyway, cool. Well, thanks, Monroe. This will be super nice to play around with. I'm going to jump in, play around with what's going on up in here. And are there any tips or tricks that you think I should know?
No, just have fun, drive it around, and enjoy.
Thank you. I definitely will. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Kyle.
Hey, guys, I'm going to jump in the Battle Motors for the first time. And wow, it's so basic in here. But again, that's kind of all you need. Scott, you jumping in? Yeah. I wish you all just saw what I saw, which was trying to find where to grab. So the first thing we need to do is look at these pedals, which looks like, you know, school bus pedals or semi pedals. I love these. Air brake. You can hear them dump right there. Nice. Let's crank this thing on. Wow, we got 400 kilowatt on the dash and 75 miles an hour. So that must be the limit for everything. Wow, all the contactors going click, 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 click. Fans are kicking on. Whoa, this is pretty amazing. So we've got a bunch of stuff that just happened, and
we don't know what just happened.
I don't know what all that clicking and stuff was, but that's really cool. So this is where we are, the Eaton Proving Grounds. This is, I don't know. That's the big oval. We're going to be able to go around the oval. Just built, pressure, and dumped. We've got windows controls. So we've got that. So let's run through everything we have over here. Mind if I steal the camera real quick? So we've got first a steering wheel. I can push and we can go wheel in and out. Let me hand that back over to you. That didn't go so well, did it? Okay. So I can go wheel like this, but I can also telescope the wheel. So I can go full NASCAR mode. Stay right up on there. Oh yeah, the seating position in this is like 1,000 times better than most vehicles that I drive. This is so cool. It's very basic though, isn't it? I really think Battle needs to like make this a little nicer. Not that it's a big deal. We've got the air horn switch over here. We can go mirror controls, and then we've got traction control off. Yeah, baby. We've got stuff to do with our fifth wheel. We've got a suspension dump valve, so we can dump the rear suspension. 2 accessory ports. Our trailer and chassis air brake system. So these would be the dumps and parking brakes. We've got drive, neutral, reverse, up and down shift, but we have to first then hit manual mode. Currently on the screen over here, if you can show this over here, Scott, we've got our speed at 0 miles an hour. Parking brake is set. This truck's got 500 miles on it. We're at 72% state of charge, which it looks like the screen's bigger than the actual housing has. We've got traction control flashing over here, and I think that's because I had turned it off. There we go, back on. We're definitely going to turn it off when we drive it. And let's see, I've got cruise control and headlights. I think that's all we need. And then the right pedal just goes to the floor. So safety third. Let's go drive this thing. We got a Jensen radio up here. No way. And 2 fans, which these remind me of like riding to school on the old bus. We had these fans pointed at the driver. They usually made quite a bit of noise. Yeah. Whoa! There we go. And then we've got some sort of cabin chiller, and I'm assuming heat as well. It's getting pretty chilly out here in Michigan. But there we go. Let's go drive this thing. Should be super fun. I know there's other menus on this display here, and I'm not exactly sure how to get through them, but it don't really matter. We're just going to go have some fun. All right, so we're good to go.
We're good to go.
There's no creep in here, which is great. So I'm going to just do a quick little... Yeah, buddy. And we'll apply throttle. Wow, this thing's moving. I've never driven a semi with trailer. If you could show everyone out the window there, the mirror, you can see we genuinely have the big trailer connected, which is so sick. And so you're going to have to give me some directions on which way you think we should go.
Okay, so first we're going to head over here to this intersection, straight ahead. So just to the right of those cones, between the cones and that sign. And then as we come through this intersection, I'm going to have you take the immediate right and head down that service drive there.
So you want me to go here?
Correct. Right
okay, there. Sounds good. Yeah. I'm just going to try what the brakes feel like, because air brakes are always a little bit interesting. Coming right to a stop. Whoa, it's so cool. So I have a nice display on here that shows how many kilowatts in real time. So sitting right now with the fans on, it's running 6 kilowatt load. As I lift off the air brakes and apply throttle, 12, 10, 20 kilowatts, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to head down this way then.
You got it.
Okay, sounds good. Pretty slow steering rack, as you would expect for a vehicle of this size, but honestly, pretty easy to drive. And we're going to be hitting some rough surfaces throughout this whole experience today. And also the cool thing about sitting in a cab over vehicle is just the position. Man, the trailer's long back there, isn't it? That is so cool to experience. You're sitting right on top of the wheels. We're actually in front of the wheels. And so you see something come under you, and then you hit the bump, and that's such an interesting feeling as well. If you look straight ahead, you can see we're at the Eaton Proving Ground, so it's a really cool thing. This is the oval course right here that we can run pretty high speeds, Phil, you were saying, right?
Yeah, up to 60 miles per hour in straightaways.
Okay, and you've driven this one before, right?
I have, yep. We're going to go straight ahead from here.
Are there multiple regen settings? You said straight ahead here? Or?
You're fine, you're fine.
Okay.
Just stay wide in this turn here as you come out of the oval.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So come on out this way. We got a radio on, say that we're heading on to the oval. So I'm going to take a pretty wide turn like you were mentioning.
Yep, so if you stay on the inside lane, in the corners, we can do 30 miles per hour, and you can do up to 50 in the outside lane.
Okay, I just felt our first ever shift, actually. So how fast can we go on the inside again?
30 miles an hour.
Okay, So we're doing about 100 kilowatt output to get up to speed. And I noticed it did a huge regen hit during the gear change to rev match the motor. 153 kilowatt regen, boom, as we went second to third gear. And what's so cool about that is just the speed of shifting. It's unbelievably fast compared to what I would expect from a typical over-the-road tractor, diesel tractor. So I'm running 25 miles an hour right now. I'm just getting used to how everything feels. And this is such a cool experience to drive this thing. As we enter down the straightaway, what's the speed we can run in the right lane?
So if you want to make your lane change right here at the broken line, we can do 50 or 60 miles per hour in the straightaway.
Okay.
In the outside lane.
So I'm going to go 30 and I'm going to go foot down. So let's go. Foot down. We are matted. It's just kicked down a gear. 330 kilowatt power output. Wow, it boogies pretty good. There's 40. This is interesting. We're definitely going to drop some speed before we get up to the corner. I'm wide open throttle. We have, oh, it has lane departure warning, which is nice as well. So we'll do just a nice gentle deceleration as we head into this corner.
So 50 miles per hour in the outside lane in the corner.
Really? 50 through the corners. Dude, this feels so weird to go this fast already in this thing. It's a wide vehicle, of course, so we're just going to hug, you know, the inside right here. And I'm doing 36 when you can do 50. Again, not here to crash their battle truck or anything. I've got to get a little used to having something this big beneath me, but it's interesting. We've just dropped to 69% state of charge from 70, and we're cruising at about 160 kilowatt power output as we have a little bit of acceleration. All right, guys, we're cruising through a corner at 37. I heard we could do 50 through here from Phil, so we're gonna roll back into the accelerator pedal. I'm wide open. It's holding fourth gear. Oh my gosh, this feels so fast. Keeping everything nice and steady. We're at 47 miles an hour, and I'm going to be ramming full throttle as we exit at 50 miles an hour. And here we are hammering down the straightaway. Let's see if we can hit 60. There's 55. If you look ahead, you can see kind of how tight this really feels from up here in this view. And we are certainly about to hit 60 right there. And I'm just easing onto the air brakes, drop our speed down just a little bit to 45. Wow, it feels so much easier to drive now that I'm getting used to it. It's super fun. Gotta love that you've got the air horn right there. Let's see what the other horn sounds like. Just a normal car horn. Definitely keeping it on the air horn. But it's super cool just to run this thing, have no noise, amazing torque. When I put my foot down, you really get this sense that there is that, you know, Cascadia electric motor is just digging, and it definitely pulls you along. We'll go back to wide open throttle down the hill and get the speed up a little bit. Damn, it feels crazy. 55, absolutely matted. Little lane departure. I keep forgetting how wide it is. What I'm going to do now is just a gentle braking test. Not a hardcore thing, but I just want to bring it down to speed a little bit here. We'll do one final loop before we end our experience, but I'd like to get a sense of like sort of that low to medium speed acceleration. So I'm going to bring us down to, you know, probably 20 miles an hour right here, and we're going to mat it. Fourth gear, put to the floor, drop to third, and it's 300 plus kilowatt output right there, sitting at about 280, and it's just bringing us nicely up to speed. Just upshifted into fourth. The 3 to 4 is a little bit longer gear shift than the 1, 2, 3, but it feels awesome, and there's great power, great torque available. This is such a cool experience. Again, I don't really have the combustion experience to relate to, but just to be able to come in as a first time, you know, sort of heavy duty vehicle driving experience with a trailer, and to feel this confident and to have this much, you know, enjoyment to driving something like this, I think speaks to what electrification can do. I'm not having to shift, I'm not having to twin stick like back in the old days. It's just foot down and we are off. And maybe that's a little scary. Drivers definitely need training. I'm a big advocate for hardcore CDL training. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's less and less folks who want to be driving, and there's also more and more applications for autonomous applications such as these types of vehicles, and having a drivetrain that can respond to whenever a computer or a human wants the power, that's absolutely key. And what a great drive this is here in the Battle. I think Battle's got to work a little bit on the cab side of things. It just feels a bit too Spartan in here, a bit rattly, and it's kind of the old school way to think about trucks versus like I've sat in a Tesla Semi before, and like that's a really finished interior and beautiful. So I'd like to see some of that approach come over here to Battle. But in terms of drivetrain, stoutness, overall feeling, very impressive. So Bill, thanks for letting me drive this thing.
Yeah, thanks for coming out today, Kyle. Appreciate it.
Yeah, as I drive off the road now. So what's the best way to exit the facility here?
So we're going to exit straight off the oval that we're on now onto the lower skid pad. You can stay right in this lane here.
Great.
As we come off the oval onto the skid pad, we want to be at 15 miles per hour.
Sounds good. And you can show everyone kind of ahead how this looks. We've got the oval that will continue to the left. Straight ahead brings us back to the skid pad where we were. And yeah, this was a really great experience. It's always cool to drive a vehicle with air brakes. I love air brakes. They're just awesome. So there we go. My first time driving a Battle. Still holding fourth gear, even down to 20 miles an hour. I wonder when we'll see any kind of back shifting. Still
take a left here, sorry.
Oh, full left here?
Yeah, we're going to go through that gate out here.
Oh, I see.
That's my
okay.
mistake.
No, all good.
We're going to head out to the large grade now. You ready for that?
Oh, we're going up some other stuff?
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, I love that it's still in fourth gear. Oh, it just went fourth to first. Super smooth. Dang. It's so easy to drive, especially at low speed. Now, there is a manual shifting control on this transmission.
Correct.
With an electric motor like this, would you typically recommend using any manual settings?
So we have a manual setting in all of our automated transmissions. I would say rarely are you going to have a need to use that, but there are certain circumstances where you're going to want to hold a gear. You're not going to want the transmission to shift automatically.
Right.
You're going to just stay right through here, and we're going to proceed up to 15% grade.
Oh, sounds good. Oh, yeah, you got to show everyone this.
Yeah,
this looks crazy. What the heck?
And you can run right down the center of the road. This is a single lane.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Battle Motors truck coming up the 15 on green.
Holy moly. So should I stop on the hill, or what do you recommend?
We'll do a couple of runs if you want. Okay. Why don't you just get in the throttle? We'll get a running start.
Okay.
Coming up the hill.
Should I go wide open right now?
I'd go wide open right now.
All right, we are wide open, second gear right now.
So we are coming into the 15% grade right now.
And I should stay flat.
Yep, and we'll see what it does.
Okay, I'm in third. Oh, we are screaming. It just went to fourth. It's outputting 350 kilowatts, back shifting to third. Oh, it's definitely it's holding us at 18 in third, dude. 330 kilowatt power output. And then on the downhill, I'll of course lift here. And then is there any sort of regen capability on the downhill? I'm not feeling any.
I'm not sure. I would imagine if that would be a technical question for Monroe.
Yeah, Monroe. Well, we tried to ask Monroe what to do about the regen, and I think it's buried in this system here in the tablet. But for some reason, it just either I'm doing something wrong or it's not recognizing any of my feedback on here, which is fine. I mean, I think if we were to do a full evaluation of this one day, we definitely want to make sure that that works perfectly fine. So taking wide corners here, can see the trailers coming around just nice. What I'd love to do is try to do a start on the 8% grade.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because that seems a little bit less daunting than the 15. That was certainly interesting.
Yeah. So as we approach the hill, you can see up here, there's those two signs at the base there.
Yeah, you can show everyone those right up there.
Yeah, that actually represents the starting point of the 8%.
Oh, okay.
So we can get the truck and trailer just on the other side of those signs there.
And this X right here, does that mean anything in particular?
Yeah, so that basically just indicates
someone's coming.
Yeah, but there's nobody over there. Let me just double check.
Yeah.
Nope, just the malfunction lights. It happens once in a while.
Yeah, sounds good. But that's a cool system that you have, so you don't have a head-on.
Right. There. Yes. Yep.
All right, so we're going to begin the 8% grade. This might be a good application to actually lock us into manual first, so I could just hear it. Wow, it blipped the downshift. So we'll run right up the middle. So as soon as the back wheels on that trailer come across, we are now on the 8% slope completely. And I'm holding us on the air brakes. So I can see there's a truck with a little hill on here, which I assume is crawler or hill hold of some kind. I'm going to put us back into drive because I'd like to see what the vehicle will do. So I'm going to lift off, apply acceleration. Let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, it's got hill hold. I'm leaning into the throttle, and as there was enough torque to move the truck, it actually dumped the air brakes at that point. And we are wide open now in first. 260 kilowatts, and it's screaming up this hill. Second gear, I can hear the tires chugging. That's awesome to feel a little tread shaw pushing into it. and it's just pulling us right up this grade, no problem. Now I'm gonna crawl up here just because we, again, don't have regen turned on, and I don't wanna like overheat the brakes or do anything. We are over 50,000 pounds staring down a 15% grade. I'm just gonna lightly hit the brakes. You don't really wanna ride air brakes forever. Of course, living in Colorado along I-70, we've seen what can happen when you overheat brakes. A little hill like this isn't gonna do anything, but if you're crawling down I-70, you definitely wanna have that regen turned on. And so that's something that, you know, we're probably doing something wrong, but the Battle Motors truck definitely supports handling recuperation. And now we're cruising along down these roads. So I don't think we necessarily need to do it again, but I really appreciate you taking me up the hill.
Absolutely.
That was a unique motoring experience that I don't get to have very often. Just to have all that weight behind you was really cool. So cool to see our friends over here watching. To exit, we'll go off to the left then.
In fact, if you wanted to stop right here, I think these guys are ready to take you back to the off-road. You can just switch vehicles from here.
Oh, well, that sounds great. That was my time in the Battle Motors. We'll end the video outside. So then to turn it off, we'll go neutral. Do you do trailer or tractor brake first?
Either way, I would do tractor brake first.
Okay. So there we go. Oh, sorry, that was trailer.
That's all right. It really doesn't matter.
Okay. So makes sense. So that's trailer. This is tractor. Sick. Well, thanks for letting me drive.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
That was really fun. Well, guys, shout out to Phil, shout out to Monroe, and shout out to Eaton for letting me drive their Battle Motors truck. Again, my first opportunity to really drive with a tractor trailer combination, and it was really cool. I mean, to be able to do this legally on a safe proving grounds, going up grades, was such a dream come true experience. The Battle Motors truck is wonderful. The drivetrain is really cool. I think I didn't realize that it was shifting. Of course, before when I saw these on the road, I assumed it was just a single gear ratio, but having that 4-speed is amazing. And you could really tell that going gear reduction when we went 3rd to 2nd gear or 4th to 3rd gear, going up the 15% made all the difference in applying that power. Is super awesome. So shout out to these guys for letting me have a go. Battle, if you're watching this video, I'd love to come and hang out with you guys and maybe do some more videos with your trucks in the future. Again, Eaton is just awesome to be able to let me drive this thing here on their proving grounds. And so thank you to you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you on another one again soon. Bye-bye.